Welcome to the International Birch University podcast. The IBU podcast studio is located at the Department of Digital Communications and Public Relations. My name is Engin Obučić. Models of cooperation between universities and the business sector are mechanisms that enable cooperation between the academic and business communities with the aim of developing new technologies, products, and services. Cooperation between universities and the business sector provides many benefits for both parties, but also creates obstacles. Our guest today is Associate Professor Natasa Tandir, Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Social Sciences at the International Birch University. Professor Tandir is highly experienced in the field of project management, cooperation between universities and the business sector. Nataša, welcome.
Thank you, Engin. Nice to be here in this nice studio.
The pleasure is ours. Professor Nataša, as our topic today is within the field, within the area of your expertise, could you kindly introduce us to the subject?
Thank you. I wouldn't say that I'm highly competent, just that my position as a Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Social Sciences, and also as a coordinator of one international project that deals with this topic, somehow led me to do more, let's say, research and to deal with the problems that exist here in this region, and how we can improve and benefit from better cooperation with the business sector or industry, let's say. That led me to get some insights on how is it here in this region. I'm not saying only our country. I'm referring to the countries, also our neighboring countries that are in, let's say, similar position. What kind of models we have compared to, let's say, more developed countries, and what we need to do to improve it, because we saw the necessity from both sides, not only from, let's say, that it comes only from us as university and professors and academia, but it comes also from the industry and from the labor market, that we have to do something differently than we did until now, so that we could enable a better environment, that we could, let's say, in synergy, create better opportunities for our young people, that we should, in that sense, develop our economy more and keep those young people here. Because there are opportunities and there are let's say, possibilities for them also to work here and to live a better quality of life than to seek it somewhere else. Many projects like this that I will mention work on that, on the employability of graduates, of students and graduates, of improving their employability, which means improving their skills and competencies that they need in tomorrow's professional life. In order to do that, we have to cooperate more with the business sector to see what are the needs and to, let's say, form those young people in a way that they are most useful to the labor market. It's not now the question of whether they will find jobs. There are many job opportunities, but whether they will satisfy the needs of companies, that's the question, with the skills and competencies they carry, and also whether they will be satisfied in those companies where they stay and where they work, because their expectations are different. So there is a mismatch between the universities, what we offer, we prepare them for, and what they get, and what the companies expect them to know, how to, let's say, act, how to implement that knowledge, and so on. So that's only, that's the biggest, let's say, aim of these cooperation models. But of course, from that core, let's say, task that the university and enterprises have with their cooperation, there are, of course, a lot of others that can improve the situation here, not only here. We are both generators of innovations. We are both generators of different, let's say, products, ideas, and that lead to growth and progress. So if we work together on those, and if we utilize the knowledge, skills, competencies that academia has, the resources, and also knowledge and competencies that companies have, we can then create, let's say, greater things. So that is the main focus of these talks, projects, agreements that universities have or are establishing with companies. And what is the situation now is that there was one period when we didn't see, let's say, the benefits of having more intensive collaboration. There was, those models existed in previous times. They exist in developed countries. For example, I would...
Let me jump in and ask what a cooperation model is. What is that? What are we talking about?
We talk about ways of different ways that the cooperation can be established. So if I would give examples before, when in previous times, let's say in ex-EU countries, we have big public, so government companies, and also the education system completely under the government, the funding. So from one place, there were big institutes that were including the researchers from universities that worked on the let's say needs of the big big industry sectors. So that was one let's say one model where because of the funding that came from one side, everything was very regulated in that sense. So everybody is giving an example of Energo Invest that function that way. So with big let's say finances, and big minds that we had, they work together under one roof.
There was a documentary done recently on Energo Invest, fascinating. Don't know if you've seen it. I saw it. It's just fantastic. It explains exactly that, the cooperation between a private, between the business sector and the government. Just fantastic.
I mean, maybe that's let's say an example that everybody is using, but for this country and for it left a certain legacy, and something that now everybody gives as an example, and something that maybe should be achieved in a different way, but with those results that companies company was achieving. So we need innovations. We need new ideas. We are not lacking ideas, but we are lacking the transformation, effective transformation of good ideas into the, let's say, final products or results, because through that process we need a very hard work, long work with a certain funding, which lacks now on both sides, especially if we look at, I'm from International Bourse University. That is a private university. So whatever we do, we are mainly, let's say, relying on our funds. Without so now with international funds, like through different projects. But that's why maybe we also need the some other stakeholders. So for us to do together and in some kind of partnership, private-public partnership, public-private partnership are now also one of the models of effective cooperation, where also universities are one of the participants, let's say, but I also give an example of technoparks. Something that's now they are the innovators. They are the
technology parks.
Technology parks, yes. But either they are under the university, if we talk about, let's say, some big private universities, or they are under or under some company groups, or they are under the let's say government investment. That we have examples also here. But if they would be the product of a public-private partnership, like we have in Serbia, one of the best-known technoparks in the region is in Novi Sad. Not only that's my hometown, not only because of it, but I'm very proud. So that's why I always emphasize it. They are the generators of great innovations and the progress that region has, and those companies that are present in that technopark. That technopark is in the university campus, and a lot of professors, a lot of researchers are involved in that technopark, and they sit beside the representatives of major IT companies there, and they are creating great results.
So essentially, they sit in the same place, they work together, they innovate. How does that work? Would you please explain how?
They established the whole, let's say, facility where they work together, as you say, on different products, but also there is an input into the teaching process also from the representatives of company. It's not only in the form of let's say guest lectures, but they also they recruit good students, so they are through different projects, they work together, so teaching staff, so academicians, but also students, they create together. There are companies or startups that are created there, where the team of founders of those startups are also professors, students, some also business already people established in business or experienced in business. So do you understand? It's like there's no limit in a sense, and there's no strict boundary between their roles and their positions. Those are called the spin-offs that come from the universities, from professors, from students working together and creating a startup, something that's still in its infantry, let's say. Did I say it? Infancy. So sorry.
We could refer
here.
to the army.
Yeah.
Well, it is in a sense. There's an element to it. So understand that's like it's an ecosystem. Would that be correct? Like an integrated, rounded ecosystem, and
they are all more connected. That is the point, because, for example, research here that we conducted inside of that project on capacity building that is working on sustainable university enterprise for improving graduates' employability. That research showed us, not only here, but in countries like Albania and Montenegro, showed us that usually our cooperation models are very, let's say, individual. In a sense, one researcher needs some, let's say, assistance, some support, or some, let's say, logistics or facility for a certain research. So he reaches to his own network, to the people he or she knows.
That's great.
It is great, but then the reach of that is very, very low. Or let's say the share of knowledge, the share of results, and so on is not also so visible. If people only cooperate on individual level, and my colleagues would say from their experience that that's the only efficient now, and up to now I would agree. So we got a response. If we need any kind of partners, let's say in some kind of research, we got the response only if the people knew us, so, or with the recommendation and so on. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be more strategic, more systematic, more like a better connection of the faculties and universities. So whoever needs it, whoever, is it an assistant, is it a assistant professor or a full professor or somebody with a great experience, if somebody has a good idea, if it has let's say knowledge, initiative or something, he or she should more easily find a partner in whatever he wants or she wants to do, related to if we talk about the management, which is my area, so improvement in let's say logistics, production, or whatever. Companies should reach to us, we should reach to companies, and together, if we work together, the transfer of knowledge would be on both sides, and that would enable us as universities to have bigger insights of what companies are doing, what are their needs, what are their problems, how we can together solve those problems, and with that we would be more knowledgeable to transfer what we learned, what we found out to our students and other interested parties.
Speaking of which, International Birch University is an entrepreneurial university. The university runs a startup incubator. Is that what the university is doing? What you described?
Running an incubator is one again of the models that we can cooperate with companies, where we get the expertise also from the experienced people from the field when we need it. So they help in mentorship, and also we as professors are helping students with mentorships. We are establishing now we are offering the space for startups. We are offering the programs to train them, and International Burj University also went a step up. Because we are assuming that the needs of the market are that those skills or the mindset of an entrepreneur. What that means that even if somebody is not, let's say, eager or let's say destined to establish a startup, that he or she needs those skills wherever he or she is employed tomorrow. So entrepreneurial mindset is something that is a need of every job position.
What is that? What's an entrepreneurial mindset?
Well, that's a mindset that we have to be. I mean, talking about myself also, if I want to, let's say, work somewhere else, so anyone, we need today to be very open-minded, flexible, to be also brave in certain things, to step up and to step out when needed, to be knowledgeable, of course, but also to be able to solve problems. Those are now skills, soft skills that we always say, to have the ability of critical thinking, but mainly I would say to be also open-minded, and I would emphasize flexible and brave, to have leadership skills, to have that communication skills, very much important. They to respond to the challenges that we face. Some of those things are, let's say, embedded in a person and in its character, but some of those things can be taught and can be trained, so that people are more, let's say, prepared to the very rough professional life and business life, stressful and so on. So, but also devoted, disciplined as well, because that's also what companies they want, people that are devoted, that are with their heart in something, that they want to grow, for the company to grow along with them as well, so to grow with the company. And what is very much important, what some companies are emphasizing that we are missing, and that's that long life learnings, that today it's not enough what you learned and you will do that for the next 30 years. We are in a very dynamic and progressive, way of living. Things change very quickly, and they have to be ready to study and to learn all the time, and sometimes we are not so willing. We are like we are there now. We some kind of commodity, like to be comfort with our safe zone, and that's not the case. I don't think that in the business world there are any safe zones anymore. So that's what we are generally trying to prepare them, not for all of them to establish their startups, but to be, let's say, brave enough to try. Yes, and to adjust, to be very flexible, to adjust to whatever is in front of them.
So are those skills used whilst training international virtual university students for the labor market?
Yes, I started with that story and then went away. We established those kind of courses and let's say materials and approaches that enable all the students at International Board University to try to experience that, try to learn that, and to try to be able to try to establish their startup, because we have university level courses available for everyone. If they are interested in entrepreneurship, anyone can take it. We even encourage all of them to take it, either fundamentals of management, introduction to business, or entrepreneurship. For surely entrepreneurship, a lot of students are interested, but also we try to develop their other interests. If they are on let's say a department of architecture, they can take, if they want, some courses that are related to literature or drama or photography, or so, to develop also their hobbies, because multitasking today is very much important. And now young people, what's their advantage and what's their asset, because everything is so available to them, and they have like different interest and also ability to acquire different competencies and skills, and we offer them that here. And that came also from the labor market, what kind of skills related to entrepreneurship they need, what kind of skills are lacking, either let's say skills related to or knowledge that they need, hard skills, but also those soft skills. When we were conducting the research, we asked the companies with what they are satisfied, what they need that the universities should improve and offer. And what I always say, what we lack is maybe asking, and we did that, but only, let's say, in smaller numbers, how the companies met students or graduates' expectations, and that says how balanced we are with the business sector.
So it goes both ways.
Yes, in a sense, to ask them, okay, you found an employment, how it met your expectations. So what is that you lacked? What kind of skills you think you should have studied at the university more, and so on, because we want also to satisfy the companies, but we also want, with our education, with our approach at the university, we want also to satisfy those young people and their expectations of their future jobs and so on. And that's also that can only be done with the synergy with the business sector. Because our, let's say, products are their let's say, resources, their human resources.